Did you ever play with dolls as a kid? You know, maybe Barbie or one of the Cabbage Patch Bumpkins? They're not just for girls. Speaking of dolls, do you remember when you were also a baby and your parents tried to sell you on the internet? Well, I mean not you per se, just a porcelain exact replica. No? Wow, that's too bad. Could have made a lot of moolah, like the Ingham family. Hey Sapiens, welcome to a show with Ryan. I'm Ryan, probably. And families, we all have them. And you know those picture frames of families that they sell at the store, the stock image ones? They always look so perfect. But, you know, when we're walking by, we know families aren't anything like this. Where's the crippled cousin? The fun drunk uncle? I mean, oh no, Grandpa's naked on the lawn again. Was that one just me? But you see, no one would buy those picture frames. You want the perfect family. Well, what if I told you that these families do in fact exist, just on YouTube? More specifically, in YouTube videos. More specific than that, in family vlog videos. It's a fairly popular genre on the platform, garnering millions of views. Families putting themselves on the front lines of the internet, braving the digital trenches, letting you take a sneak peek into their daily hoopla. How quaint. But could these perfect families be hiding something? For instance, you know, the Ingham family made up of father, Chris, wife, and then kids, you know, like 3 of them. I mean, they seemed pretty normal. That is, until, you know, a string of drama hit them in the 2018s. It was a simpler time. Fans accusing the father of mischief. And even more recently, well, we'll get to that. But I mean, how would you feel if you grew up in one of these families? You weren't asked to be filmed and put online for millions to see, to scrutinize. And what if you found out when you were just, you know, a little squirt, not even out of diapers yet, that your parents used you to make money? Not just by being in these videos, because what's creative about that? No, that's too simple. By making porcelain exact replicas of you, you know, to be sold to some creep. I mean, adoring fan. Well, luckily for you, we don't have to wonder. So let's hop on the diesel-powered train to our destination that is this segment, Situation Station. Today's conductor, Nick DeOrio, and let me tell you, there's nothing sweet about this treat. So sit back, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Choo choo. If you Google search the Ingham family today, you'll find a few standout articles that should be enough to get your direct attention. For example, in the span of about a year, the lovable vlogging family had been accused of leaving their baby unattended at the beach to go for a nice swim, selling a doll inspired by their newborn baby for over $300, and the father, Chris Ingham specifically, was accused of creeping on an underage girl. Just your average English family, right? Yeah, not quite. Understandably, this didn't sit well with a lot of people. Other than looking a lot like Keemstar when he was doing a Leafy imitation, Chris Ingham just seems like a really creepy dude. On July 2nd, 2018, a girl named Jess came forward to accuse Chris of creeping on her during the Ingham family's vacation to Disneyland. The allegations included asking her to sneak out every night, sometimes as late as 2 a.m., to go on walks alone. He had apparently messaged her multiple times, citing how pretty and beautiful she was, and asking her why she didn't have loads of boyfriends at home. He refused to meet her at normal hours at 8 o'clock, you know, when the hotel was lively and everyone was around, but when 12 rolled around and everybody was sleeping, suddenly he was requesting that she snuck out again, even saying that they should sneak into the pool area to skinny dip together. And the problem with this was, Jess was just 16 years of age. And we're not talking about a girl who looks older. This girl visibly looks her age. And the consent age in Florida is 18. So this, of course, is a very serious allegation to make toward a family vlogger on a family vacation to a family theme park. This set of allegations would, of course, lead to more allegations of girls coming forward who claim to have had worse interactions with Chris. However, nothing ever came of it. A year later, it's been hardly addressed. Basically, nothing's been disputed, and many people have forgotten about the allegations altogether. This is extremely interesting to me specifically, as anybody who knows me would well know that I take allegations like this very seriously. I've made it very clear with my own content that I give the accused the benefit of the doubt when it comes to these types of career-ending allegations. I'm not the guy to jump in and say, innocent people don't stay silent for this long, and declare Chris a sexual deviant. However, I'm also not an idiot. This girl provided evidence that she was there at the same time, evidence that they met, evidence that they spoke on Twitter privately, clickable evidence that shows a link back to Chris's main Twitter account, scrolling evidence, a full statement that hasn't been disputed, and garnered support from other women who could back it up with their own stories. This isn't exactly a few out of context Discord messages. There's a lot here, and some of the stuff shown, I'd have no idea how to fake if you ask me to. I guess what I'm alluding to is the fact that he's made no effort to try and dispute this. While that doesn't make him automatically guilty, it does make statements like this one agonizing when it hits my ears.
But nowadays, instead of being such a positive and fun thing, it's turned into something that we absolutely dread. Some of you may already know this, but we have been the victims of some of the most severe, disgusting hate online for
bullying
a long time, to the point where it's just absolutely blows your mind, the kind of stuff that people say about you online. Completely untrue, disgusting, defamatory, malicious, horrible things. With just absolutely no care or consequence for the people that they hurt, for the person, for the family, for the children, for any of it, for the damage that people's words online can do.
In defense of the Ingham family, like I said earlier, Chris's allegations are just that, allegations. And no matter how much evidence we do have, we don't have a full story from Chris's perspective. What many situations like this seem to bank on is the accuser's evidence alone. And this has led to some unjust downfalls of a lot of creators like Slazo, James Charles, and even Pro Jared. But when it comes to criticism, as this isn't their only controversy, the worst thing a channel can do is categorize it with the blanket terms of hate or bullying. Just because a channel creates a video talking about the Ingham family brand doesn't mean its goal is to automatically humiliate or harass them. There are a lot of genuine criticisms to make about a family who left their children on the beach alone while they prioritize their vlog over their child's safety. This places them in a position of power, and we as creators have a right to commentate, question, or offer advice to a channel who appears to be misusing that position. Let me be clear, this is a video that attempts to do just that, and when you blanket fair criticism with hate and demonize those who attempt to give it, you tend to spark the ugly side of the community. This almost always leads to a sharp influx of trolling, and when you make outrageous statements like the one you're about to hear, it only proves to make your situation worse.
It's got so serious now that we've had to recently involve the police, who are now dealing with the people that are doing this most severely and frequently, of which a number of suspects have already been dealt with by the police and are now facing court action. Because of pending court action against these individuals, we aren't able to talk about this any further than that, other than just to say that the abuse online that we as a family, myself, our company, receives daily is being dealt with. It only takes one email, one tweet, to a person, to a company, to a brand, to an organisation to be classed as malicious communications. Just one instance for that.
And that's a crime.
No matter how anonymous you might think you are with your fake accounts, fake names, none of you are untraceable.
Like, would you ever say to your child, hey, you can bully her if you want? I won't use the word bullying because you guys all say, we're not bullying, we're just giving opinions. So instead, I'll say, would you say to your child, it's okay to call her out on what she's wearing, or to comment on how she looks, or comment on her weight?
This 22-minute video that'll probably get deleted, but I urge all of you, until it does, to watch it and join the conversation. Oh, wait, the comments are disabled too. You really could make an entire video on this train wreck of an upload. But the overarching question that I'd like to ask here is, how well do you know your favorite family vloggers? If the love is fake and the rose-tinted goggles come off, then who are these people when the camera goes off? What else are they lying about? You can sail across the ocean with the Ingham family. You can hit up some mega water slides with the Ingham family. You can go to Disneyland with the Ingham family. You can be there for the reveal of the Ingham family's pregnancy. Were they surprising the father, or was it surprising that Chris was the father? Am I right? Excuse me, Internet Police, that was a joke. And now you can literally own a member of the Ingham family, kind of. In what hopefully will find its way into a video by Nerd City, you can now purchase a $350 replica of a baby who is based on the child Jace when he was 2 weeks old. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, childbirth is out this year and child merch is in. The days of t-shirts and hoodies is gone, and now we're making porcelain newborns to push our brand. 250 of these limited edition babies will be shipped to whomever wants one, and every single person who gets one will be invited to a party with the Ingham family in attendance. So if you get to buy that creepy porcelain doll you've been eyeing, you get to take a look at the real thing in person, because grown men who buy giant lifelike baby dolls based on their favorite vlogging channels should be around to meet the kids, right? That's normal, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I digress. In response to the criticism they got, they had this to say.
But for the idiots that take it that little step further and turn it into something completely negative and something that it is nothing to do with at all, that's what we're addressing right now.
This is not us forcing our children to do something for our own gain. This is us making the most of an opportunity that we feel we've been given and we want to make the most of.
We did not want to have to make this video today. We know, you guys know, that this channel is all about positivity, about real family life, and that's it. But we are just sick to death of having to feel like we have to sit back and take the ridiculous amounts of abuse that are thrown at us daily.
But the point is, many people think it's really creepy to essentially merchandise a lifeless, lifelike doll of their newborn baby, especially when that baby doesn't have the ability to consent to being made into a toy to begin with. And if you feel that way, I can't say I blame you, because when they choose to respond, they take any form of criticism and just dismiss it as hate. They echo that their place is to promote positivity on their channel, and they say things like this.
It's so sad that the internet is so full of negativity nowadays and full of people who just thrive on drama and negativity, and the saddest thing of all, causing hurt and damage to others. It's crazy that people would much rather watch a video about some big scandal or some big drama ripping someone's life apart than watching something carefree and happy and positive. It's like one huge game of Chinese whispers.
A brand, a company are being destroyed by an army of people online that thrive on negativity for something they never did or a situation that never was in the first place.
And don't even start with the absolute BS of, well, you put yourself out there online, so you should expect to be ripped apart, or you should expect people to have opinion. No, these are not opinions, these are bullies.
But what do the fans think of this overwhelming positivity? What do the fans think about a porcelain baby being sold as YouTube merch? What do they think about allegations of leaving their child unattended at the beach and dismissing those people who called social services as trolls? What do they think about Chris allegedly attempting to spend the night skinny dipping with a minor? What do the fans think? What do the fans think? What do the fans think?
Man, that section could have been called Taking It Up the Bum with Nick, right?
There's no really this.
Oh, we're back. Folks, the internet is a sticky pile of sap covered in freshly dewed dung. I mean, just ask the media. But what about the fans? More specifically, the fans of these perfect families that are out there on the tubes. How do they react to their favorite personalities pitching these products? Well, luckily, a lot of viewers can voice themselves in the comments. And this brings us to our next segment. The audience always knows. Yep. Which is brought to you by our app sponsor, True Family. Look, we all know our family isn't perfect. In fact, they're kind of assholes. But with True Family, for the low price of $2.99, you can, at bare minimum, look like them. Kind of. Fix your family today with True Family. Now let's send it to our in-house viewer expert. It's your cue. Star.
You know, when I started looking into the Ingham family, it really made me wonder, why do we love the YouTubers we watch? And in my experience, obviously it always starts with their content. Like maybe they're playing a game I like, reviewing a movie I might want to see, or just talking about stuff I'm interested in. But the reason I stay almost all the time is because I genuinely like the creator. I could watch anyone review Midsummer, but I want to see what YMS has to say about it. I could watch thousands of people play Apex Legends, but I'd rather feel like I'm hanging out with Candy Roo for half an hour. But based on hundreds of YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook comments I've read, I can wholeheartedly say that the fans really, really love the Ingham family, to the point where interactions feel less like a fan interacting with a creator, and more like your Aunt Shirley commenting on your family's vacation photos. So I'm super pumped to dive into the fan reactions to the Chris cheating scandal, the baby left on the beach scandal, and the baby doll scandal, but first I want to get sort of a baseline for what fan-creator interaction is like, so let's look at some comments from some everyday Ingham family posts. Really quickly, before we get into the comments, I do need to give a short disclaimer. The Chris Ingham cheating allegations are just that, alleged, but as far as the baby doll scandal and the baby left on the beach scandals are concerned, those are real things that happened. It's really just a matter of how you feel about them and your opinion on them. Do not send hate or harassment towards anyone discussed in this video. It will only make things worse. Just don't do it. It's stupid. Now to some run-of-the-mill comments on an Ingham family post about their recent vacation. Fantastic, you're having a great time. Yes, it's sad that Isabel isn't there, but school is important and she'll enjoy watching the videos. Continue to enjoy your trip. So when's Isabel joining you again? I miss her smiling face. I love you all so much. This commenter says some very nice things about the Inghams and then goes on to say, I have been through emotional journeys with you and even really exciting ones, but you are all just a second family to me and I cry nearly every night because I am happy that you are all such an amazing family. My birthday is on the 4th of September. Well, I hope you are all enjoying your holiday and I love you all, even Isabel. She's an inspiration to me and I love her to bits. From your biggest fan. Oh, beautiful photos. Jace is growing so fast. My oldest will know tomorrow if he got a place at university. Am a nervous wreck at the moment, such a life-changing thing for both of us. My baby boy could be moving away from home. Am so very proud. Please keep your fingers crossed for him. The fans and followers of the Ingham family call themselves the I fan. It's so creepy when they all point at you. Honestly, this family creeps me out, I'm not gonna lie. But back to the comments, it really seems like a family from the comments there. People talking about their own children's experiences, like they're both equally invested in each other's lives. That's one of the things that stuck out to me the most. The amount of times that people would post pictures of their own families and sharing their own experiences of what's going on. Like, I know that fans interacting with creators sometimes do talk about their own lives, but it happens a ridiculous amount with this family. And then the other woman talking about crying almost every night because of how beautiful this family is. And yes, that might just be one unstable person, but I do think it's a symptom of the connection that people genuinely feel to this family. And that might seem irrelevant for this video, but I think it does provide important context to the way that these fans react when controversies like this come out. So, because it was the first and the largest scandal, we're going to start off with the Chris Ingham underage infidelity situation. And before we get the fan response, it's super important to note that this family actually disabled comments on their YouTube channel from their first video in 2015 all the way to March 27th of 2019. That's 3 to 4 years worth of videos where the conversation has been absolutely shut down. They also took a 2.5-month break from posting on Facebook. Sarah Ingham took a month off of posting on her personal Instagram, and Chris Ingham disabled comments on his Instagram. Which leads me to believe they were trying to take away anybody's platform to comment on the situation, whether it be fans or critics. Luckily, we can look at posts before and after the social media blackout to find out what people were saying. These are some comments on the last post the Ingham family made on their Facebook profile before the Chris Ingham infidelity scandal broke. If people in this world were half the man Chris is, then it would be a better place. And skipping some nice things they say about the Inghams, they say, wish you all the very best, including the loyal people we know as the iFam. Bless you all. Somebody responds to that by saying, yes, Chris, you are a wonderful man, father, and husband, and the world needs to see more good fathers like you. They are so severely lacking. I think that's why people are so quick to judge you, because they don't understand your family, because you guys are so blessed, so wholesome, and such wonderful people. And skipping some really nice things she says about the family, and some more really nice things about Chris specifically, like this woman loves Chris. She goes on to say at the end, we may not have met in real life, but we get you guys, and you really can't fake your level of sincerity, beautiful sensitivity, and beauty. And I think this comment at the bottom is really important. Full support from your loyal iFam who know the real Chris. Stay strong and the truth will come out. Love you all. I have a problem with comments like this, and the problem with comments like this, in my opinion, is it seems like they're pretending that they know Chris, they know the content of his character, and they know that he wouldn't do something like this. I'm not saying he did it, because obviously it's still up in the air. Like Nick said, it would be really hard to fake that evidence, but there is potential that it could have been faked. But there are people that have been married to someone for 20 years and then find out that they're a murderer, and they're like, who have I been in love with this entire time? You as a fan can't say that you know Chris Ingham well enough that that proves that he didn't do it. That is idiotic. Moving over to Instagram for a quick comment on Sarah Ingham's first post after this whole thing happened. This person says, please speak up about the situation now. It's all people want because it's getting out of hand, and even Alfie Days has posted about it, and Chris is ignoring his text. So please talk about it or I'm starting to lose respect for yous, and soon will probs get kicked out of YouTube. So as you can see, there were a few people out there defending the Ingham family, and a lot less calling out the Ingham family saying address this or I'm going to lose respect for you. But I will tell you, 97% of the comments were not talking about the scandal whatsoever, which leads me to believe that the Ingham family plan of disabling comments on the YouTube channel, taking a break from social media, letting the situation die down, completely worked, and people just moved on. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. This next scandal deeply angered me, and this is the situation in which the Ingham family went to the beach and all 5 of them decided to go neck deep into the water, where they're all floating in the water with baby Jace just on the beach sleeping by himself, nobody close to him whatsoever. And immediately when I heard about this, I was like, that sounds like a terrible idea. And I even asked my sister, my mom, and my dad about it. And even before I could finish explaining the situation, my dad was like, no, you just never do that. You don't go into the water with a baby sleeping on the beach. And I have to agree, because you're putting a lot of distance and, more importantly, time between you and that baby, because not only are you, say, 30 to 50 feet away in the water, but you're in the water, so it's going to take you longer to get to that baby than it would if you were 30 to 50 feet away on land. And when the news broke about this, I was like, okay, this is finally it. The fans are finally going to call out this family on their bad behavior, because when child endangerment is involved, people usually take things pretty seriously. So I went to the comments section of the video and was surprised to see that only like 2 out of 300 comments I looked at were actually mentioning the possible danger of leaving Jace on the beach. Like, people weren't even defending the Ingham family in the comments. They weren't attacking the Ingham family. 99% of comments weren't talking about it at all, which leads me to believe that they were most likely heavily moderating the comment section of this video, because let me tell you, I've made a lot of videos, and if I make some sort of pronunciation error, I get like 20 to 40 comments about it in a comment section that has like 300 to 500 comments. They have 1,639 comments on this video currently, and I could only find 2 comments about the whole, hey, you left your baby on the beach while you guys were in the water situation. And I actually have some proof to back up the fact that they're moderating this comment section. If I am logged into my account on YouTube and I sort comments by newest, my comment is the first. It was posted 9 hours ago, but if I log out of my account, And you can see that I'm no longer signed into my account because my icon is no longer my icon, and then you go to sort by newest first, and my comment is nowhere to be found. Now, this could mean one of two things. Either they are manually approving comments as they come in to make sure there's not bad content in there, or they have blacklisted terms that aren't allowing whatever I wrote to show up on the page. And if you think that I deleted my comment and I'm just trying to make them look bad, I will post a screenshot of my updated comment at the time that this video releases, how it looks from my account, and then you can check yourself to see if it shows up when you're signed into your accounts. And you can even comment yourself with words like jace and beach in your comment, or just a regular comment, and see if it shows up when you sign out. If it doesn't, that means they're either manually approving comments or they have words blacklisted. The point of all this explanation being that even though they've left up a comment section on this video, they've still managed to shut down the conversation on YouTube. But luckily, if we go to Chris's personal Instagram, we can find a very lively debate about this situation. Also, forgive the awkwardness of this clip. There seems to be no good way to view a long comment on Instagram's website, so I am going to have to scroll as I go. To be honest, whether they were just a few feet away or whatever, they still left their baby unattended. And if that was in the UK, your baby would have been taken from you, let's be real. It's dangerous now to even just take your eyes off of your kids, let alone go play in the sea with him in his chair on his own. He'll probably delete this comment cause it's hate. I'm not sending hate, I'm just being realistic on today's social expectations and viewpoints regarding children and their safety. I used to watch videos, but for multiple reasons I stopped. But overall, that child was a good 20 to 30 seconds away from you, at least according to you, and we all know anything could have happened. Alright, last comment I'm going to look at with this one. This person says, honestly, I don't understand why people need to give their rude opinions to everything. Chris and Sarah are amazing parents. I've watched these guys throughout their whole journey on YouTube, and I've never seen anything to critique. They are protective, loving, and fair parents. They know what they're doing. They would never put any of their children, or anyone for that matter, in harm's way. The video you guys made the other day was shocking to hear. I can't believe how much people try to drag down other people. I'm utterly disgusted by it. They continue to say, ignore the negativity, guys. I know you shouldn't have to, but at the end of the day, you guys got all you need to make you happy. And before I get into my opinion, I do want to add this statement from Chris. He says, while Jace was asleep and strapped into his sleep chair, which was placed inside of a UV baby shade on the shore of the beach, no more than a few feet from where we were cooling off at the sea edge, he told The Sun. And after watching the vlog itself and reading Chris's statement on the incident, I feel like at worst, this family was prioritizing the vlog over the safety of their 4-month-old child, and at best, the family was just caught up in the fun of the moment and still put their child at risk in a lapse of judgment. This was a lapse of judgment regardless of which way you cut it. And I'll be real, I would have respected these guys if they had come out and said, hey, we were not in the right headspace as parents in this situation, we made a major mistake, and we're gonna work to be better and not have something like this happen again. But instead, they just decided to come out and act like they did absolutely nothing wrong, which concerns me deeply. And I would love to report that the people spoke out, and because of their inability to take accountability for their lapse in judgment, they lost subscribers, but we'll get to that at the end of this segment. Now on to the controversy that seems to be getting the most attention recently. Here are some comments from their announcement video for the Jace baby doll. Don't know how I'd feel about 250 people having a reborn doll that looks like my baby. Totally strange. All the profits we are making are going to Jace's bank account. Guys, have you seen the price? It's double what I would have guessed. This is pretty creepy as well as borderline greed. You've made lots of money through YouTube and had lots of things given to you for free. I don't want to sound like a horrible person, but the kids who may want this doll may come from poorer families who are keeping roofs above heads and food in tummies with difficulty. Is this not a bit weird? No hate, I love you, but it's just odd. Okay, so I had to dig a little bit, but I did find a positive comment about the baby doll, and it was hearted, and it still only managed to get 7 likes. That's so awesome, it does look like Jace. I've been wanting a reborn for a very long time. I'm in the reborn community on YouTube, and have been for a very long time now, and I've been entering to win all kinds of reborns, but with no success. The Jace reborn is just so adorable. I want one, it's so gorgeous. I wish I could be there. That would be awesome to meet you all in person, but I live in Maine. They were running a thing where if you bought the doll, you could also meet the family. Love you all so much, have a great night, and take care. Now, just to give them the benefit of the doubt, I do want to mention that there are a lot of non-Ingham family fans in this comment section because this has been a bit of a controversy, but we even heard from people who are like, hey, I love you, I love your videos, but this is strange, and the main problem seemed to be that it was too expensive, and it was just kind of creepy to make a baby doll of your kid and then sell it to people. And going back to the idea that some poorer people might want the Jace baby doll but won't be able to afford it because of more pressing needs, when I was looking up an unboxing video of this doll, I found this woman who put the baby doll on a credit card, spent money she did not have so she could be a part of the Ingham family, have a lifelike representation of Jace, have a baby of her own, and I really think that perfectly represents the obsession and dedication the fans have to this family. And after reading hundreds of comments and digging a little bit deeper into their Social Blade statistics, I can confidently say that a scandal the size of anything we've looked at in this video is not nearly enough to have a major impact on the Ingham family. As Nick said earlier, the accusations of Chris Ingham possibly attempting to cheat on his wife with an underage girl came out on July 2nd of 2018, and for the month of July, the Ingham family net gained 60,000 subscribers, and there wasn't a single day in that month where they had a net loss of subscribers. They were gaining subs every day. And when you look at their statistics since July 19th of this year, a period of time in which they've had two pretty major scandals, they've only had 5 individual days that they've lost over 200 subscribers net, and they've net gained 10,000 subscribers in the same period of time. At the end of the day, the stats don't lie, and in my opinion, it's very clear that this audience does not care what Nick, Crimson, myself, the entire commentary community, or a girl that personally hung out with Chris Ingham has to say about this family. They are going to support them regardless. It actually reminds me a little bit of J-Station, where I feel like if you asked any YouTuber or any YouTube viewer between the ages of like 13 to 30 what they thought of the guy, they'd say he's an opportunistic scumbag that almost doesn't deserve a place on the platform, and yet he gains tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers per month. And obviously one could very easily attribute that to his audience being very young, passive YouTube viewers who, one, aren't paying attention to what the YouTube community is saying about him, and 2, might not even have the capacity to understand the immorality of his actions. And I feel like while they've had very different scandals, the Ingham family is similar in the sense that their audience is mostly young children and, let's be honest, boomers that aren't paying attention to the YouTube community at large and are getting most of their information from a very insulated community that's either they're getting it directly from the Inghams or from other fans. But it doesn't seem like anything's changing anytime soon, and I guess we can only hope that the Inghams are maybe learning from their mistakes behind the scenes and just aren't admitting to them publicly, but that seems like wishful thinking to me. My biggest hope is that this stuff just isn't permanently affecting the children they're raising and the young audience that they influence, but I guess only time will tell.
Truth isn't truth. Famous words from former New York mayor and man trying really hard to resist that candy on his secretary's desk, Rudy Giuliani. Not only is it a funny meme, but I believe this saying plays a much bigger role in a special relationship here on the interwebs. And this brings us to our final segment, the truth according to us. In an online world where individuals and families are putting themselves out there for millions of people to see, know their deepest, darkest secrets, and join in some of the fun antics in the case of the Ingham family and other vlog channels.
This little boy is. You girls ready to go? The girls are so excited.
So how much of this is real, and how much of this is a show put on for another motive? Hell, look, I got nothing against making money. I'm trying to do it right now. Very successfully. But there is a special relationship, the relationship between the fan and the creator, that at times you think the line can be very blurred. I mean, there are fans out there who frankly think that they are part of this creator or family's life. But have these fans met these people? Had dinner with them? Now, outside of the occasional stalker, I doubt any of them have ever really been close. See, fans really don't know these people, and frankly, the creators probably don't really care to know them beyond the fact that they want their clicks. Now, is there something wrong with wanting clicks? No. But there is something interesting about fans thinking that they know every little thing about all of these people. You don't really know who anyone is until you've been with them, been in their shoes, hung out with them, and really seen their day-to-day life for real. Look, I don't want to paint a bad picture of anyone, especially because at best I am a poetic Bob Ross with the artistic skills of a Parkinson's victim. But I want to know from you, how often do you think we play into what the creators want us to believe, rather than the truth behind the actions and motives they are taking each step of the video that they make for you? Remember, I'm Ryan, and I'll see you around the corner.